Hello! Today we are here to do a twofer.
Yeah.
2 games in 1. So it's Take 5, or you may have heard of it as 6 nimmt.
That's the original name.
Or there's actually X nimmt, because I guess
and
different
that's the
numbers.
Take a Number.
And that's probably Take a Number.
Yep.
So they're both similar style games. Take a Number's got a few little quirks to it that's different than Take 5. So we'll get through that here shortly, but before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because you don't want to miss out on any of these kind of pseudo take that kind of card games.
Right.
Because
there's a ton of them.
Yeah, there's a ton, but this one it's kind of
it's like one of the originals.
Yeah, it's kind of a harsh defeat when you have to play those cards down. So
I did pretty good this time around.
Yeah. So with that, why don't you tell them a little bit about the game?
So Take 5 and Take a Number, like Randy said, originally 6 nimmt and X nimmt. It originally came out in 1994, and it's been published by Amigo. It was designed by Wolfgang Kramer, artists, quite a few artists here, so give me a second. Timur Baskakov, Design Edge, Bill Heron, Gaddis Sluka, and Franz Vowinkle. Plays 2 to 10 people, which is awesome. Plays in about 45 minutes with ages 8 and up. And we found that MSRP is $14.99. Card House has it for $10.99, this version.
$10.49.
$10.49, but it's sold out. So $14.99 retail.
Yeah, I got this, I think it was a daily deal at Card House.
Okay.
I got even less than that, so it was a real steal. So you've got, like I said, we have 2 games here. The style of the pieces or the components is exactly the same between the other cards. They do have a linen finish, but they're super flimsy and thin. These tend to curl on you. Probably you're going to want to sleeve them.
If you play the game a lot, definitely sleeve it.
They're I don't know if they're even a standard Euro. They're very thin.
Yeah.
So you're going to need a sleeve that fits these very thin, narrow cards.
Right.
But yeah, because you are going to play it a lot if you like this game, because it's a quick little simple game to learn, and
it's a lot of fun
to teach. If you're a fan of Racco or any of the old classics like that, it's got a lot of similarities to that. But yeah, I can't say the quality's anything exciting. I mean, I like the fact that it has a linen finish on it, but as flimsy as the cards are, I'm probably still going to give it a 5. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, I think 5's good.
Amazing about it. So thematically, there's really
it's a card game.
It's a card game. There's no theme to it. I mean, there's cows.
We can't really give it a theme, a score on theme. I think there's just it's a card game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the cows have to do with anything
other than scoring.
Yeah, I mean, other than you might refer to some bull or something while you're playing the game. That's for sure. So I could guess maybe that's why they went with cows, but,
right?
And then the kind of got a psychedelic thing going with the
with some of the numbers,
So I'm probably going to give this a 5 too. I just don't see.
If we have to give it a score, then yes.
There's nothing exciting about the theme of this, unless you're just a huge cow fan. So moving on to the rule book, there's 2 rule books because there's 2 games.
No way.
Yeah. And they're both very quick reads.
They're like 1 page.
Yeah. It's not a trifold though. They didn't put it into a trifold form. So there is actually the numbering is so small I can't even read it. I think it's basically like a 10-page maybe, but they're very small. Obviously, they have to be to fit in that box. And it's a very quick learn because the game mechanics of this are so simple, but they're so clever. It's, so, I mean, there's no confusion. There's some good examples in here to show you how it plays. I love that the arrows are kind of like looping everywhere. So apparently when you take a card, you go, woo! So, I think that and both of them are the same style. I mean, there's no real difference in the way, even here, they put a loop. I think the rule books do a good job, and they're quick to learn, quick to teach. I'm going to give it an 8. I think they did a fine job.
Good deal.
All right, now on to the gameplay. So we're going to talk about Take 5 first, or 6 nimmt. Then we'll talk about Take a Number and what it changes with the game, really. So Take 5, everybody's going to get dealt a hand of cards. It's 10 cards, I believe, a piece. So after you have your 10 cards, there's then going to be a set of 4 sequences or starter cards put out on the table. And each round, you're going to play one card from your hand face down to the table and wait for your opponent or opponents. This plays better with more players.
For sure.
You could play it at 2, but I would recommend playing it with like 4 or more. It is nice that this is one of the few games you see that goes up to 10 for a card game.
And so what cards am I looking at? What card should I select? Because I have to play a card,
yes.
right?
So you have to play, the rules basically are you want to play something that is higher than the numbers that are on the table.
Yeah.
And whichever one you play, this is a really bad spread, by the way.
It really is.
You're going to have to play something higher than that. But if you go beyond the next highest number, it's going to go into that row instead of the row that you were maybe intending. If you can play lower than it, but if you play anything lower than all the numbers that are out there, you have to choose a row and take all the cards in that row. But otherwise,
and the goal is not to get cards.
Yeah, you want to have the lowest score at the end of the game, and the score is counted by the cows that are pictured on the cards. So I'll play this one. Let's see, all right. So then we go by lowest to highest. He's got a 23. I've got a 44. So your 23 is going to get played
next to the 19,
and
because that's the closest.
Yep. So we have 12, 16, 19. So his 23 comes closest to the 19. And we have a 97 down here, which also is kind of crummy because 104 is the highest card in
this version.
Yeah. So my 44 is going to go there.
So he wants to get rid of the 44. If you see all those cow pictures on it, the more cow pictures, the more points that's going to get you. And again, you don't want that many points.
Yeah. So then we're going to play the next round. We would pick another card to play to the table. And I'll pick this one.
I'll pick this one.
And for 2 players, it's going to take a while before we break over. But now we got 58, 70. So we have 5 cards. 5. So the next card that has to go in that row is going to cause that person to take that whole row. All right. So you chose wisely. So you went low. So that means you get, because you're below all the numbers, you can choose any row you want.
So I'm going to go for that 12.
Yep.
And the 3 goes in and replaces it.
Whereas I've got a 95.
And then this goes off to the side.
Yeah, it goes face down.
Goes face down.
All at the end of the round, we'll add up all those cows.
Yeah.
So I got a 95, which is going to have to take this row. So I take this whole row, and the 95 becomes a new starter for that. So now
which sucks again.
You're welcome. So that you would keep playing until
you just keep doing it until your hand is gone.
Your hand is gone, and everybody would be done with the whole hand, and then you're going to add up your cows. And if someone doesn't have 66 points, you start again for the next round. But you play until somebody breaks 66 points, and at that point, whoever has the lowest score wins. That's all there is to it. It's a very simple game, but as you get playing, you'll find yourself thinking you're going to get by.
And there's a lot of strategy on, like I just did. I played so low that I knew I was only going to get 1 card. And I was hoping Randy would play high to get those 5 cards.
Well, all I had was cards that were 50 or higher than I had in my hand. I had no choice.
So there's actually a little bit of meat to it, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Especially in those moments where you think you're going to go here, and someone plays this 1 card lower. Yeah. You're like, oh, and then you have to get all these cards.
So now that is take 5 or 6 nimmt. Now, the take a number plays very similarly as far as the play style, but it has some twists to it. So first of all, instead of having a 5 for each row being the set number of cards, this one has a 3, a 4, and a 5 row, and only 3 rows. So you're very limited on the card rows. And each person, this only plays up to 4, this game. So it's very much tighter of a game. And each person starts the game with a # card where they can add cards to during the game, which we'll get to. And then this one, you also only get a hand of 8 cards dealt to you. So magically, we have 8 cards now. How did these get here? And then you're going to figure out which cards you're going to play. Very similar to the 6 nimmt or take 5 game. But when you take cards, it's a little different twist to it because when you do take cards, you get to choose one card from the cards you've taken to put in front of your pound sign. And that card, if at the end of the game, all your cards are there and you don't have any left in your hand, you won't have any points. So whoever goes out first by playing cards will trigger the end round, because in this case, you don't. When you take cards, they go back into your hand instead of going into a pile.
You only put one card here.
Yes. And this pile, the cards that accumulate here, you want to sequence them as well, because
as close to each other as possible.
Yes, because if you want to go low to high, because if you ever have to go lower than the number you've already got, you take all the cards in this pool and you put them face down, and they become similar to the ones in 6 Nimmt that you get by default. But these count double penalty.
Double penalty, which is nasty.
Yeah. And any cards you have left in your hand at the end of the round
are worse, just
a single penalty. Yeah. So you want to get rid of your cards first if you can. Rob managed to pull off a win with 0 points that last game.
Yep.
Because this one, the one thing that's different about this, whereas the other one triggers when somebody breaks 66, so you have usually like 10 to 15 rounds before that happens.
This is just the 2 hands.
Maybe not.
Or 3 hands.
But this one, there's only 2. Yeah, 2 hands, and that's it. So it's
but other than that, you play it the same way. So you're trying to play a card that you can put up here in the row, but the 4th card and the 3 row, you get those cards. 5 cards in the 4th and 6 cards.
So you're going to see a lot more taking of cards in this version. So got my card. So your 20 goes first, and then my 62 goes there. See how fast I can. See if I can stick you with some cards this time.
I hope not.
All right. Oh, 64. Oh, yeah.
So see that since this is the closest number to it, I have to take these 3 cards, and I want to pick one. This will go back here, and I pick one to go down here. And now this is part of the strategy: is how high of a number do I want to go, thinking that hopefully I can still keep doing sequentially, because the lower the better, but they're all high cards, which kind of stinks. So, but I'm still going to go to the 55 because that's got the most cowheads on it, and hopefully I can survive long enough. But these 2 now go in my hand. So now I have more cards in my hand, which stinks.
Might have planned that.
Let's see.
Oh, very nice. 30 is first, then 32. So now that row is complete. Come on, bring it. Bring it, beard boy. 78 and then 90. Ooh.
Now this part sucks.
Okay.
So I have to get this row.
So 45, that's going to go up here.
Yeah.
So you're going to take that row.
See, he got a good mix of low and high cards. I got nothing but high cards. So it makes it, and that's how I won in the first game, is because I got a really good mix of low and high cards. So I was able to play low to be able to make sure that I got where I wanted to go, and then I would play high to block other people. Yeah. So and you just keep going back and forth.
Cards over there.
Well, we're going to keep playing.
I got 2 cards left. I'm taking you down.
Oh well, fine. Well, he's bitter.
I don't see any cards over here.
Yeah, he's a little bitter. Golly, and they're all so high. Oh, I can play that one.
All right.
Interesting.
In this game, the cards only go up to 100. In the other game, they go up to 104. So the 99, there's only 1 card that can even play higher than that. So you got a 90. I got a 98. Oh, this is going to be interesting. This could be the end.
Could be.
35.
48.
So I got no points because I have it out.
And so now, these don't count because I haven't. So 2, 5, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14 points.
Not bad. That wasn't horrible, considering you lost every hand completely. But anyway,
I did score 0.
Yes,
against multiple people.
Yes,
so.
you did win. So that's take a number.
Let's take a number.
So as far as the two games, I still think I like Take 5 better.
Yeah.
Although I do like the nuances of the.
I think I honestly like this one better than 6 Nimmt. Yeah, because I think that there's a little bit more strategy involved in this.
I would agree. I just wish they had more than 2 rounds. I mean, that's the part that I don't like is it's like. In 2 rounds, you could. I mean, just
I like it because of 2 rounds. You knock it out and just play another one.
Well, yeah, it is quick, but I mean, there's a lot more likelihood that the same person's going to win both hands. Whereas if you play Take 5, it's hard to play over multiple hands, having never getting cards. I mean, it's possible to get 0 points, but it's much harder.
Yeah, very, very unlikely.
Yeah.
But, so, what would you score?
I'm probably going to say Take 5. I'm probably giving an 8. This one I think I'm 7.5.
Okay.
That's where I'm at.
I like both a lot. I've owned 6 Nimmt for years, and I think actually Dodd is the one that taught us 6 Nimmt, and I just fell in love with it and bought it as soon as I could. So I like it so much. I think I'm an 8 for both. I like them both equally.
Okay,
so
great,
good.
So that's our thoughts on Take 5 and Take a Number. Now I don't know if this one's still in print with both games in it. I saw it Take 5s on pre-order at Miniature Market. Yeah. But just for this game, so it doesn't have the Take a Number built in.
And then you can look for the 6 Nimmt, the original. You can find that as well. There might be a combo of different 6 Nimmt games as well.
Yeah, so definitely keep an eye out if you're interested. If you like games, like I said, it's very much in the style of play as Racco from the old days. And anything where you're like sequencing numbers, if you're into that kind of thing, this is a fun game for that.
It really
is quick, and it's one that you're going to be cursing your friends about.
And I think kids will pick it up, so it's a good family game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's our thoughts on Take 5, Take a Number, 6 Nimmt, whatever you want to call it. So let us know if you've played it, or what you think.
What you think of it.
Or what is your favorite card game? I mean, mine is actually Bridge, but this is a good...
Their tagline is irresistible and unpredictable.
Yes. All right. So, so you can come back and check out our next bull that we have to talk about. All right.
Let's pull it.
Bye.
Bye.